Positive. Con. One.
Okay, this is an experience I had in 2006. And this was after, I had this experience like after I moved. I moved from one state to another state, and then I couldn't understand why all my out-of-body experiences kind of stopped. And my astral travels and all that stopped. But I still had this experience and all sorts of virtual, reality experiences. It's just that certain way of where they kept making me shoot off in that manner. I don't know why that stopped, because I did that for many years, and then it seemed like it stopped when I moved. That type of astral traveling, the aliens stopped it for whatever reason. Because I was doing that from like 2003 to 2006, and then when I moved, it seems like that stopped, but I was still getting experiences, just not where I would just like shoot off every time I would, break the sleep cycle. I'd go to the bathroom and then lay back down, and then boom, I would shoot off in that same manner and float through I would twist and twirl through the black galaxy, and sometimes many different, it was never just one exact speed. Sometimes it would be really, really fast, sometimes slower speeds. But the aliens were controlling all of that. They were making me do all that, but I didn't know it at the time. And lots of times they would just plot me down what I thought was the heaven realm. In nature, I'd just be walking around in nature. But anyway, okay, so then it seemed like when I moved, it just seemed like that type of astral travel stopped. But I did have this experience not long after I moved to that different state, which was Texas. And I knew it was what was called a remote view. Well, at least that's my definition anyway. I don't know about anybody else's definition, but I know what astral traveling is like. I know out-of-body experiences. I know all of that. But remote view, it's like the alien somehow, it's still an out-of-body experience, but it's like your brain is just there. Just your astral mind is there, but your astral body is not. So you can't like walk around and stuff because you don't have your astral body. It's like the aliens just stick you in one spot, your brain consciousness in one spot. I mean, I guess they could probably, they could, I mean, they were controlling it all, so if they wanted to, they could have popped me around, the house or whatever. But all the remote views the aliens have given me, I would just be fixed. My astral brain would just, and mind would just, I mean, I'd still be out of body, it's just I wouldn't be in my astral body. I would just be in mind. I mean, I was still there, but it was just my astral brain, my astral mind, and I was very aware of the fact that I did not have my astral body with me. I always knew that, because you could feel it, you could tell. So anyway, that's the kind of remote views I have. I don't know about anybody else. But, and they don't do this very often. They mainly give me out-of-body experiences. And make me walk around and all that stuff. But, okay, so anyway, so this woman that I dated was very, very, very dark. But I was just kind of stupid, a slave to the Matrix. And when you're in a trance and a slave to the Matrix, you're in a trance and you don't see anything. You don't see anything, I mean, it's really sad, but in a way, it's a curse to be enlightened and see everything. But yeah, so I don't even know why I would date somebody like that, because I mean, I knew she was kind of mean or whatever, but I don't know, I was just stupid back then. I was just following the program. You know how most people, like if you put somebody mean in front of them and somebody nice in front of them, they're always attracted to the mean person. That's just all mind control. That's how we've been mind controlled from a young age somehow. So I guess that's why I dated her. I don't know. But yeah, it makes sense. So anyway, and I didn't date her very long. I never dated anybody very long. So this was like maybe, I don't know, a few times over 3 or 4 months or something like that. And I already knew she grew pot down at her cabin or whatever, because the aliens my spirit guide and the aliens already told me that on the Ouija board. And it was funny because when I went there to her cabin, she's like, I want to tell you a secret. And then she told me that she grew pot. And she showed it to me, but I already knew she did. But anyway, okay, so, but yeah, I didn't really see how dark, I didn't really, I mean, I knew she was kind of like mean and kind of hateful and stuff, but I didn't really realize she was like a dark-souled person at the time. Until after I stopped dating her, which was like, January of 2005. Or actually a few days of, before 2005. And then it was like several months went by, and that's when I remember Sylvia Brown talking about dark-souled people, and that's when I remember thinking, oh wow, this person, yeah, I knew that she was, that woman that I dated, Cindy, her name's Cindy, but I know her last name and everything, but yeah, that's when I knew. I was like, okay, yeah, she was a dark, but it took me several months to figure it out. I don't know why, but yeah, so that's when I knew. About several months down the road, after I stopped dating her, I knew she was a dark-souled person. And like I say, that was also the same time, about a year after I stopped dating her. A year after I stopped dating her, that was when I also was attacked by that entity that shapeshifted into her. When she attacked me sexually, this reptilian entity. That was fun, though. But anyway, that video is on here. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, she did get kind of psycho on me a couple times, like verbally. But like I said, I didn't figure out she was a dark soul person until several months later. Okay, so then when it was just right after I moved to Texas. Like just right after I moved to Texas. It was probably within about a month. Probably within about 2 or 3 weeks, right after I moved to Texas, of August of 2006. Oh, okay, yeah, that's why I put September, because I moved August 15th of 2006. And I lived in that high-rise, that 3rd floor apartment. And the aliens, which I believe was probably a reptilian, maybe a gray, maybe both. They both maybe collaborated to give me this weird remote view experience. So this is how it went. It was very fast. So they stuck me in this house. And in real life, it was not her real house. It was an odd house. It didn't seem like her, the house that she lived in at the time. But, it wasn't similar. But anyway, they stuck me in a house, and I was just, I was standing there, so to speak, but not in my astral body, just my mind. And yeah, it was totally real. Totally real. It was totally virtual reality. I was totally out of body, except my mind was just out of body. And anyways, so Cindy, as far as I remember, the walls were white. She didn't have a lot of stuff on the, well, she didn't in real life either. She didn't like a lot of stuff on the walls and stuff, but in this house, there was like nothing on the walls in this remote view experience. But anyway, so Cindy was standing in the corner. she was standing over in the right. It was just a big bedroom. The alien stuck me in this big bedroom. And over to the left was the double bed. It wasn't a real big bed, so it was more like a double-sized bed. But anyway, when they stuck my mind in this scenario, Cindy was way over to the right in the corner of the wall. Just standing there in the corner. I mean, it was her 100%. Totally her 100%. And she looks nothing like that woman there, but I just put her in the template. That fake woman or whatever. But yeah, she had whacked off dykey hair. Well, now she's pretty old. A few years away of being 70 or whatever. So she's pretty old now, but yeah, so she was standing there in the corner. And I was about, like I say, she was over to the right, way ahead of this other area where the bed was, standing there in the corner of the wall. And like I say, all the walls were white. And I can't remember what she had on, but it just seemed like plain, all tan or all white clothing. It was just plain clothing. But it was her to a T. And like I say, I hadn't when I had this experience, I hadn't talked to that woman in a year or a little longer. And anyway, okay, so, and at that time, like when the aliens placed me in the scenario and then Cindy was against the wall, she was probably at least 30 feet. Let's see, how big is 30 feet? 30 feet? Oh crap, maybe not. No, maybe not that. I don't know, maybe about 20 feet. She was at least maybe about 20 feet away from me. And then, so I looked at her straight in the eyes, and then the aliens made her like pop forward. She did not walk, she popped. She like popped forward, and then she popped forward again. She popped forward at least 3 times, like pop, 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 closer to me. And at that time, you know, I would have been just maybe 5 feet away from her, or maybe 4 or 5 feet away from her. But at first, like I say, when they stuck me in the scenario, I was about, about 20 feet away from her, or I don't know, maybe 18 feet, something like that. And she just like popped forward, like pop, 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 you know. She didn't walk forward, she popped forward. Just like magically, you know, like pop, pop, pop. You know, the aliens can do just about anything. And, but it was her, 100%. I mean, and now that I'm enlightened to my aliens and stuff, I mean, I still don't really understand that experience. I mean, because now, you know, I realize most of the stuff they give me, a lot of it is just, it's virtual reality, artificial, virtual reality dimensions and stuff they create for me and stuff. But, I mean, I think this experience could have been real. I think they were trying to tell me that she murdered somebody. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if she did, because like I say, she was dark. I would not be surprised if she really did murder somebody. And so I don't know if this was just a little joke, because the aliens they prey on my thoughts and stuff, and they already knew that I knew she was dark. And maybe they were just wanting to create that experience for me to prove, yeah, you're right, she's a dark, souled person. Which I already knew that, But the aliens like to prey, they always like prey off what I just learned or whatever, and then boom, they give me an experience, day later, months later, or whatever. So anyway, she like popped forward, like bam, 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 and just gave me this, blank, just dark, evil look. She didn't smile or anything like that, just this plain Jane. She didn't look like, she did not look like a zombie. She wasn't in a trance or anything like that. It was her. But she did not try to talk to me or anything like that. So then after she popped forward, like pop, 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 after she popped forward, then I looked over to my left where the bed was, and it had all white sheets on the bed. And it was about 20, I don't know, not 20 feet, I don't know. It was the bed was quite a distance from me, about 15 feet from my left, the bed was. You know, it wasn't just right there, it was like about 15 or 16 feet away from me. And I looked at the bed, and there was like blood all over it. And the aliens don't put blood in my scenarios very often. But there was blood all over it, and it covered almost the whole freaking sheet. I mean, you know, the whole part of the bed, except for maybe, you know, 2 feet from the top, or not 2 feet, but maybe 1.5 feet from the top, 1.5 feet from the bottom. You know, that whole big area, there was blood all over it. And now I'm thinking, I could be forgetting something. There could have been maybe, I don't know. It seems like when I was in this scenario that I thought to myself, you know, she killed somebody with the knife. But, you know, I mean, I could have forgot that detail if there was like a knife laying on the bed. I don't think there was. I don't remember a knife being on the bed or whatever. But I do remember thinking, you know, in my head when the aliens gave me this experience that, oh, wow, you know, she must have killed somebody, you know, with a knife. And I'm pretty sure that's what I was thinking. But like I said, I did not interact with her, and she did not talk or anything to me. So I don't know if the aliens were trying to tell me that she murdered somebody. Because like I say, they've given me, I mean, some true information before. I mean, they gave me lottery numbers back when I was 24, and all of them hit. So they don't just be giving me bullshit all the time, you know. Artificial dimensions and scenarios and all that with their technology. They don't, you know, they give me real true stuff sometimes, true information and stuff. So, I mean, you know, they give me experiences for shits and grins, or maybe there's a deeper agenda, I don't know, but what I mean is, once in a blue moon, they'll give me true information, you know, like maybe Cindy really did murder somebody, I don't know. But, or it could have just been that the aliens made it all up. Or, you know, because now, I'd have to think about all the other information that's, you know, oh, yeah, like I say, in 2000, shit, I gotta hurry up. In 1997, let's see, I was 20, anyway, that was like 1996, not 1996, so 98. Around 1998, I was walking down the street with my dog, and the thought came to me, I knew that it was going to close. The company that I worked for was going to close. Sure enough, and they never gave us one freaking warning, not one warning. The next day, they're like, oh, we're going to close and move to Kentucky, or Nebraska, I think it was, and they closed. And yeah, so the aliens gave me that information before, that that company that I worked for, Telequest, was going to close. And, I mean, I had no warning. They gave us no warning whatsoever. So, yeah, the aliens don't just be giving me, you know, just experiences for shits and grins all the time. So I think this is an experience that could have been real. Like, they were trying to tell me that she murdered somebody, and if she did, I would not be surprised. And another thing, you know, I saw her in 2010 when I moved back here. I saw her in 2010, and then it seemed like I saw her about 3 times in about a 2-year period. I saw her in 2010, another time in 2012 at Dollar General store. And then I think there was one other time, but I can't remember. But I saw her in 2010 at Barnes & Noble's, and she had the ugly-ass black purse still. I swear to God, that was the same one she carried when I knew her in 2004 and part of 2005. Was it 2004? Yeah, and part of, 2004, and then just a couple days shy of into 2005. Because she came up on that December 31st, and I didn't have anything to do with her after that. But yeah, anyway, when I looked over there, I was like, oh my God, she looks so freaking evil, and she was giving me these evil looks when I was at Barnes & Noble's with my sister.